Winter had descended upon the quiet town of Elmridge, and I found myself bundled up in my cozy cottage, seeking refuge from the biting cold outside. The snow-covered streets were deserted, and an eerie stillness settled in with the darkness. One particularly frosty night, I was jolted awake by a sound outside my window, a soft tapping. Tiny handprints marred the glass, their frosty outlines sending a shiver down my spine. Someone, or something, had been trying to get in. I strained my eyes, peering into the snowy darkness, but the landscape remained still and silent. Curiosity gripped me, and I decided to follow the trail of handprints that led to the backyard. The moon cast an eerie glow on the untouched snow as I ventured into the cold night. The handprints guided me to an old, neglected playground hidden in the woods. The swing swayed gently, and a rusty merry-go-round creaked with an otherworldly rhythm. The air was thick with an unsettling hush. In the center of the playground, a childlike figure stood, their back turned to me. They wore clothes from a bygone era, and their silhouette seemed to waver in the moonlight. The figure turned, revealing a face obscured by shadows. A child's laughter, haunting and distant, filled the air. I hesitated, feeling a mix of fear and empathy for the lonely soul that stood before me. The child spoke, their voice a whisper carried by the winter wind. They told a tale of abandonment, of a life cut short by the merciless cold. Their eyes, filled with a silent plea, sought understanding. As the child faded into the shadows, the wind carried their distant laughter. I stumbled back to my cottage, chilled to the bone and haunted by the encounter. The once quaint town of Elmridge held secrets buried in the frosty echoes of its past. And so, as I lay in bed, the cold seeping through the walls, I couldn't shake the feeling that the winter's whispers carried tales of lonely souls seeking solace in the frozen darkness. A chilling reality that lingered in the air, waiting to be heard by those will. One frosty evening, as the snow painted the town white, I found myself nestled in the warmth of my small home. The wind outside howled like a distant beast, and the chill in the air made the cozy ambience even more inviting. Little did I know that the winter night held a sinister secret. As I sat by the fireplace, lost in the glow of the flames, an unsettling feeling crept over me. The house creaked in response to the cold, but something about the noises felt off, like a discordant melody in the silence of the night. My unease deepened when I heard a faint scratching sound, almost imperceptible. I brushed it off as the wind playing tricks, but the feeling lingered. Suddenly, the scratching became more pronounced, accompanied by the creaking of the floorboards. Panic set in as I realized I wasn't alone. I tiptoed through the darkened hallway, the cold air biting at my skin. The scratching led me to the back door, and as I cautiously approached, the noise intensified. Someone was trying to force their way in, their intentions hidden in the shadows of the winter night. Fear gripped me as I dialed the police, whispering my location as quietly as possible. The dispatcher assured me help was on the way, but the scratching persisted, growing more desperate with each passing second. Suddenly, the noise ceased, and an eerie silence settled in. I strained my ears, but the only sound was the distant wail of the wind. A chill ran down my spine as I realized the intruder had succeeded in entering my home. I huddled in the corner, heart pounding, as the intruder's footsteps echoed through the house. The air thickened with tension as they moved closer, a phantom in the winter darkness. My mind raced, thoughts entangled in a web of fear. A cold voice cut through the silence, sending shivers down my spine. "Winter is the best time for secrets," they whispered, the words hanging in the air like a chilling premonition. The intruder reveled in the terror they instilled, taunting me with the power they held in the frozen night. Just as the intruder closed in, the distant wail of sirens pierced the darkness. Flashing lights illuminated the snow-covered street, drawing attention to the unfolding nightmare. The intruder, confronted by the sudden intrusion of the outside world, retreated into the shadows and vanished. The police asked questions and the description of the intruder, and so, as I watched the flashing lights fade into the distance, I understood that the winter night held not only the beauty of snowflakes, but also the haunting echoes of a lesson learned in the cold embrace of fear. One frosty night, I found myself walking alone through the desolate streets of Winter Haven. The moon cast an eerie glow on the snow-covered ground, creating a silent and surreal landscape. The chill in the air whispered untold secrets, but little did I know that this winter night had a tale of its own. As I strolled through the deserted town, my footsteps echoed in the quiet night. The streetlights flickered, casting long shadows that seemed to dance with the icy wind. Unease settled in as the familiar surroundings took on an unfamiliar, haunting quality. I decided to take a shortcut through an alley, seeking the warmth of home sooner. The narrow passage was a corridor of darkness, the buildings towering like silent sentinels. The snow underfoot crunched loudly, disturbing the stillness. Midway through the alley, I caught a glimpse of a shadow out of the corner of my eye. I turned, expecting to see my own silhouette, but there, against the moonlit snow, was a figure, a silhouette that mirrored my every move. Panic gripped me. I quickened my pace, and so did the shadow. The echoing footsteps grew louder, creating a dissonant symphony in the cold night. I tried to shake off the feeling, attributing it to my imagination running wild in the solitude. As I neared the end of the alley, the shadowy figure drew closer. The air grew colder, and a voice, soft yet chilling, whispered, "Winter claims those who walk alone at night." My heart raced as I glanced over my shoulder, but there was no one there. Terrified, I broke into a run, the shadow mirroring my every move. The echoing footsteps became a relentless pursuit, the voice a constant reminder of the winter's unforgiving grip. I reached my doorstep, breathless and trembling, but the shadow lingered at the edge of the alley. As I fumbled to unlock my door, with that, the shadow dissolved into the darkness. I stumbled inside, haunted by the encounter. The lesson etched itself into my consciousness. The winter night, while enchanting, could cast shadows that mirrored the loneliness within. The echoes of that chilling pursuit lingered, a reminder that sometimes the coldest dangers lurk in the quietest moments.